biggest inspiration was my dad. He taught me how to play. Yeah, that was back in college.
Okay.
I really got into it. My first lesson was actually in high school when I was a freshman. But at that point, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it because what he was showing me was like theory and all this kind of stuff, and I didn't connect with it. But once I started learning songs and kind of dedicated myself towards it, you know, that's when I got into it. And what really inspired me, actually, my ex-girlfriend, she broke up with me, and I was looking for something to do, keep my mind off of it, and it kind of got me going. So he gave me a lesson, and yeah, I just think the first lesson I didn't really connect with it. I always wanted to, but even before that, you know, I always wanted to play and be a rock star.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't quite make it there. But yeah, I always wanted to play. You know, when I learned you could actually make money doing it, as long as you got to be smart about it. Still a lot of things I'm trying to figure out, but
Yeah.
once I realized, actually I decided I was going to do it. Actually, I remember there was a moment I was at a party and I said, I'm just going to do this. I like doing it. It's fun. There's no reason I can't. Other people do it, so I can do it. Teaching I actually really enjoy because I get to see, just kind of pass on um, what I know and help others, you know, because I like helping people. And that's really the whole point for me is to give something to someone else. Sounds cheesy, but you know that's really that's the truth. you can only play by yourself for so long, you know. But even if you're playing in bands, it's good to just to pass it on. Yeah, I mean I think that's the whole. Probably the biggest portion of it for me is to connect with other people. The bands I play, we do mostly stuff girls dance to. We do because we do weddings and we do private parties and we do clubs and anything from Bon Jovi to Journey to Adele to Johnny Cash. Kind of get the idea, you know, just to Lady Gaga, you know, just even try to do new stuff like Taylor Swift too, you know. But yeah, stuff like that. I was always a better rock player, but emotion.
Okay.
I think that's what the whole. I think that's for me at least. That's the whole point of anything. Honestly, is the emotion behind it. Because otherwise, if you just focused on the technical parts of it, what are you really getting out of it? You know, it's all about the emotion, and that's why people. I believe that's why people come to shows. It's for the emotion that they get out of it, for the connection, or for the social element, but there's always emotion behind it. If there's no emotion, people aren't going to do it. That was kind of the, I'd like to say earlier on, but I got laid off from a job at Gilead. That was actually out of college because I was a chemist. In college. I went to school for polymer chemistry, and then after getting laid off, I saw an ad for a guitar teacher at Explore, and then I just taught my first lesson. I was like, okay, and then just from there, it just kind of trickled down, and it's got more students. But I think there was a moment earlier on. When I just really enjoyed what I was doing, just playing just to play. No. Well, I mean, like there are parts like I did enjoy, but comparatively, I always go back. It was just a gig at it was called Connolly's, and now it's Doherty's, where I was just playing and having fun. And I always remember it because I have a wireless guitar, and I jump out in the crowd and play behind my head and go down, do like spins and stuff. I just remember really having a good time on one of those shows. So yeah, there was that. It was just a simple gig, but it was just wasn't anything too fancy, but
Yeah.
it was fun. Yeah, I mean, I think you have to, to some degree, when there's a new hit that's really big, and
Yeah.
the other bands are learning it, so it's good to keep up with the times. If you always do the same thing, you might drive yourself crazy. But yeah, when there's a new hit, it's good to learn it. If it's a big enough hit and has lasting, like if you do it more than a month, and it still be
Yeah.
a hit, Yeah. It's just because it's what I grew up listening to.
Okay.
Yeah, I think to some degree we go back to our roots. What you grew up
Yeah. Makes sense.
listening to.
Yeah.
That'll always be there. That'll never change. You'll develop new bands and new passions, but there's always going to be that what you grew up listening to. That'll never change. Absolutely. I think it's something that, as long as you have a memory of that time, that when you're young, it can really strike you. It strikes you when you're older, but it can really strike you when you're young and you're hearing music for the first time, and you're saying, "Oh, this is a song. This is an album. This is something I like."
Yeah.
For the first time, there's something special about that that I think sticks in your